Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Sage Lewis of the Sage Against the Machine podcast. We are now a few days out from the Jayland Walker grand jury decision that the police were, whatever they say in a grand jury, not guilty. It's not what they say. They're fine. They did nothing wrong. And that is just where the story starts now, And, I'm on my own personal path to, trying to be a better person. I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to understand more. I'm trying to find more love. I'm trying to find more compassion. I'm trying to sit in the places of the world that are in the middle of things, as opposed to gravitating to one side or another side. I like contradiction. I like being in the place where two things are true. That interests me a great deal because that is just how it is, that multiple things are true. And this morning I woke up and the first article I read was this article. And this is how the headline came to me this morning. The worst experience, what 8 police officers who shot Jayland Walker told BCI. And it's a very good, it's a compelling story. It turns out this article, I think, has definitively said that it was 94 shots. I've known it was something over 90, but I didn't know how many it was. And so, I don't know why that matters to me, but for some reason I want to know. I want to know how many shots were fired, and I want to know how many shots hit Jayland Walker. I don't know why I want that. Who gives a crap? He's dead by too many shots. Hey, Shannon, it's good to see you. And so I start going through here, and I said, here's one of the officers. Now, we don't name the officers, but they're numbering them now. I feel like logistically that is a bad move. When you hide things, it makes it worse. If I was on the public relations team of the police department, and I guarantee you this conversation is being debated all the time, I would interview these people constantly, because even in the written word, they come off really human. It says, unfortunately, he did something that caused me to have to act, but it's not something that I'm proud of, one officer told investigators. It's not something I'll even brag about. It's something that's going to take a lot of time to try and at least cope with. Another shared similar thoughts. This has been the worst experience I have ever felt in my entire life because I haven't been sleeping good. I've been getting 3 or 4 hours a night. I've been getting these reoccurring headaches. I've been getting nightmares. Recurring thoughts of the incident in my head. That's PTSD that they're explaining. And if you're anti-cop, then you're like, oh, poor baby, you can't sleep. Jayland Walker's dead. But no, you have to sit in this, that these people were in this situation, and they are human like all of us. And this sentence really spoke to me this morning. I'm like, yeah, man, I honestly believe I don't know that I would do anything different. Guilty conscience, says Shay. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Why can't? Okay, there we go. So, yeah, guilt. Of course, of course. But I think that this happens in war zones too, right? That you can't sleep. You're like, look, I went there to kill people. I killed people, and it's eating me up. Is that a guilty conscience? Is that just your humanity? yes, it's all of that, right? It's all of that. And so that's that. Then they talk about the pattern. They started a V-shaped layout and then went to an L pattern. Nothing about the early morning development was planned. On patrol shifts in various parts of the city, the 8 officers had no idea they'd all wind up together at Firestone Park, let alone shooting and killing. They haven't named them. Yost didn't name them, so we're numbering them now. So this is interesting. 2 encounters with Jayland Walker. Officer 1 and 2, okay, were partners in a cruiser patrolling North Hill that morning. Both started on the force the same day, May 29th, 2020, the same as, so they've been on the force now going on, like, 3 years, right? Policeman is a job. The people involved are human. That's right. And we have to take that into account. Before earning their, so 1 and 2, before earning their political science degree at the University of Akron, Officer 1 graduated from Garfield High School. This is not an out-of-city person. This is a person who went to Garfield, okay? In the same area where the car chase Walker would soon lead him. So this is an Akron human. Went to the University of Akron for a political science degree. Graduated from Garfield High School. Is at, okay, and I want all these comments. Why don't they reform the criminals? It's always the police. Okay, all right. I mean, I'm open for any idea. Reform. Okay, you can say things like that, but then what do you mean by that? Why don't you just stop people being people? Why don't we reform humans? Which is honestly like where I'm at with artificial intelligence. I'm kind of like, maybe we should just hand it over to the computers. I don't know that we can be reformed. Both started on the same day. Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry. Officer 2, now check this, combined 12 years in the U.S. Air Force Security Service in the National Guard, where he was a sergeant. He graduated from Louisville High School and taken some college classes. Where's Louisville High School? Where is that? Let's see that on a map. Louisville, Ohio. Okay. So let's see. Louisville, Ohio. I don't know. Do you say Louisville? I bet you say Louisville. Okay. Louisville High School from Akron. We'll just go from Akron. 15 Broad Street. It's 30 miles away. It's down south. It's in, East Canton. He's a country boy. It's by Canton. Okay. So he's a country boy, right? He, not from Akron. Okay. Shannon says, shooting someone justified or not, trained or not, will still shake the soul. Absolutely it will. These are human beings. We must always hold that in our head. So here, but look, 12 years in the National Guard. The pair spotted Walker, but not an Akron person. Does that matter? Now we have an Akron person who went to college in Akron, and we have a 12-year veteran. I don't know if veteran is the right word. I don't know. I think veteran means you went overseas. 12 years in the military. Trained military, okay? The pair spotted Walker in a 2005 Buick. The car had a cracked taillight. The license plate search on their mobile computer revealed notes the car had been the subject of a police chase the night before in New Franklin. But those notes referenced a white driver. Walker was black. They followed Walker eastbound on Talmadge Avenue from North Howard. Walker car turned right to enter the Route 8 South. Officer 1 says he prefers not to make traffic stops on highways because it can be dangerous. This is the Akron Garfield High School, University of Akron person. That's because it can be dangerous for police and other motorists. So I let the car go. Didn't really think much of it. Didn't really care much about the taillight. But 10 minutes later, they see him again. And Officer 2, the military person from not Akron, says, that's suspicious. Is that different there? I mean, is this story trying to portray a different type of feel? The Akron boy is like, cracked taillight, it's Akron. Anybody around here for taillights? Officer 2 from the South, that's suspicious. Is that a form of upbringing? I don't know. Policeman is no longer a job. It's a paid gang membership. Okay, fair. I don't know if fair is the right word, but yeah, I mean, legitimate stance. Okay, could we try to not yell at each other? Everybody can say what they want to say. Okay, Shannon, please don't do that. Everybody here can say exactly what they want to say. Please don't hate on the person, okay? Why am I dissecting them? Because I just started the podcast. I haven't gotten to that part, Chris. God damn it. See, now I'm right. I haven't gotten there. Can you give me a minute? Oh, my Lord. Okay, let's go back to that. Why would you take the side of the police officer? Well, A, I'm not. I'm telling a whole story. B, because they're human and their story deserves to be told. And this is the problem. Why would you tell the story of somebody I don't? I know. I'm sorry, Chris. I apologize. I apologize. This is a very tense time. I haven't gotten there yet. Are you listening to anything he's saying? The note said the car before was a white driver. Okay. Yes, I'm listening. That's suspicious, says Country Boy. Why would somebody that has a broken taillight go south on Route 8 and get back off on whatever exit? Because he didn't know he had a broken taillight. How about that? How about not everybody looks at their taillight every day? Is that in the South they stop you if you have a new car and temp tags just to check if everything's legit. Well, maybe we need to stop that. So here is a cop perspective, right? This guy, I believe this is what he's saying. I believe this is this is a cop thinking cop ways, right? This is a cop thinking like a cop. Why would you do that when you know you have a broken taillight? Well, maybe because I didn't know I had a broken taillight. Maybe I don't care if I have a broken taillight. Well, you really should get that fixed. Yes, officer. I know. I get it. I should have gotten that fixed. To me, that didn't make any sense. See, to me, that didn't make any sense. Why would you keep driving around? You should get home and get that taillight fixed at midnight. Like, what? So at that point, I was just trying to figure out what's going on with this car. I feel how I feel. I'll excuse myself, not trying to harm anyone's vibe. All right, thank you. You're chill. I know. You're okay to feel. To comply, he ran, just comply. Right. He ran from Franklin Police Officer the night before. He wanted for questioning, just comply. Yes. That would have changed everything, Tanya. Okay? Yes. Probably would have changed everything. I mean, he still had a gun and a ski mask. I don't know. Okay. 12:31, the officers tried. So they let him go the first time. Akron boy. I don't know why I'm calling him boy. Akron officer. I think that matters. The boy from Akron, the man from Akron, the guy from Akron. I don't know, the Akron guy. So like, hey, let's let him go. Country boy is like, hey man, that guy has a taillight out. What's going on here? Why would he be doing that? Now police in her pursuit. Walker fired a shot out the window. We have to accept that, okay? We have to accept that happened. That's what the investigators say. I accept that. I think we have to accept it. And I just remember thinking to myself, says Officer 2, country boy, did this really just happen? Because this is a tail light. See, now this guy is confused. He is like, what's going on? Now, this guy has been on the force for 3 years, less, 2.5 years. He's in an environment that he is new to, okay? I don't hear Officer 1 talking at this time. But I can imagine being like, yeah, that sounds about right. Welcome to, have you heard, you go to Nextdoor, it's like we're monitoring a war zone. People shoot guns all the time in this city. But this is confusing to Officer 2, because where he's from, you only shoot deer and muskrats and vermin and shit. Whatever, I don't know. That's racist, but I don't know. You just don't shoot your gun off in the air like we do up in here in Akron. You just don't do it. Okay, look, I just remember thinking to myself, did this really just happen? As his eyes welled with tears. That's not bullshit. You have to believe his humanity. This is screwing with this guy's mind, okay? I think I was just kind of in shock, like I couldn't believe it. And that's when my partner this is when my partner, Akron boy, says, that's when my partner kind of snapped me out of it. He said, shots fired. And I was like, country boy, oh shit, you're right. Bam, shots fired. And then here we go. One of them turned on the sirens. Officer 2 held the microphone, paused for the other radio traffic to stop, and then announced 21. 21. Officer needing help. Shots fired. Bam. Now we're into a whole nother world. Okay? And I think that's a legitimate thing. Shots fired, officer need help. 21. Now, 3 and 4 military veterans heard the call, patrolling near the Aldi. They entered interstate. Okay, so Officer 3 with 4 years experience, still pretty young, had served an intelligence analyst at the U.S. Army National Guard. Wanted a career in law enforcement. He physically started a police officer. Was a good way to reach his goal as a detective. This guy just wants to be a detective. Do you know, my son is like taking a class with crime scene investigators or something. I don't know, forensic. It's like really cool. You watch all these detective shows and you're like, hey man, I'd like to solve crimes. And this guy is just like, man, I guess this is a good way to get in and then I can be a detective. Now he's heading to his destiny. Grew up in the Clinton area. That's, what is that, the South, I imagine, right? Officer 4, police department for 5 years before getting hired for Akron. He worked for Thomasville, Georgia. Okay, before that, he served 6 years at Air Force, okay? Air Force. He awarded a Purple Heart, was injured in Afghanistan. Okay, this guy was in Afghanistan when he had an IED explode on him, okay? Officer 4. When the pair entered the highway, they became the lead vehicle in the pursuit because they were closest to Walker. 1 and 2 followed behind. Okay, so 3 and 4, both, 3 was in Army National Guard, 4 was U.S. Air Force in Afghanistan. Okay, these guys are trained. They're military trained. 3 and 4 are military trained. That pair, okay, well, Officer 5 and 6 said they were far from the pursuit. In progress still, they drove towards downtown. They arrived at the shooting scene at the same time Walker and the pursuit converged. Officer 5 had been exonerated by Summit County prosecutor in a 2019 police shooting near former Uptown Lodge. Okay, so 5 likes to pull that trigger, apparently. Served in the Coast Guard. Performance reviews describe him as motivated, proactive. passionate. Oof. Those are maybe not the words you want from a police officer. Ashley, 47 bullet holes in someone's body is never okay. I agree. That's excessive force. I agree. Takes less than 10 shots to kill someone. Yeah, I would hope. And then the military trained, they knew how many they... Yes, I agree. Look, I'm going to tell a whole story here. Hang on. Officer 6 graduated from Austintown Flint High, criminal justice Youngstown State, Canfield, country girl. Officer 6. 7 and 8 solo. 7 Boulevard, drove east. Louisville High School graduate, bachelor's degree in sociology from Akron, worked several private security jobs. Okay, started in 2020. Younger people, a lot of younger people. Maybe because the younger people get that shit, midnight, overnight thing. I don't know. Was patrolling it, just happened to be in the similar area. And then he heard 21, right? Okay, and 80 miles an hour, 65 miles an hour. All 8 officers knew Walker had a gun. I remember thinking, this is probably going to end here soon, Officer 1 said. Remember Officer 1? Officer 1, Akron boy. Because usually when cars are chases are going through side streets, like this guy is like from Akron. You can just hear it in his voice. Okay. Because usually when cars and chases going through side streets, the person's looking to stop, jump out of the car, bail, they could wreck. I don't know what he's going to do when he gets out of the car since he already shot at us. This guy is as chill as it gets. I'm assuming he's going to continue to shoot at us. I mean, right? Okay, we're getting to that, Shay. Hold on. Shay says, I wonder... young officers obviously need more training, but they're military too. Don't forget. I wonder which cop was yelling ceasefire while the other cops kept shooting. Right. Hang on. We're getting there. Good question. I figure he's going to continue shooting. I knew he had a gun. I want to get that gun. He sounds calm, but he's probably panicking, right? They passed. A few crews create a blockade. The Buick slowed. As soon as he saw that, he believed the suspect realized that he was getting boxed in, says Officer 3. We approached the vehicle. We were able to see that he was reaching all around, looking like he had his butt in his seat, and he was reaching all around the center console, the glove box, and passenger seat. At the same time, 5 and 6 saw Walker open the driver's door, put the foot on the ground. Officer side glided his cruiser to the Buick and pushed the bumper, blocking Walker from opening the door. He tried to block him from getting out of the car. Pretty great move. Walker moved to the passenger side. He was in the passenger compartment while the officer was giving him many commands to stop, to show his hands, says Officer 6, noting that she had her gun drawn. Officer 6 has her gun drawn. Okay? Officer 2 approached. Saw he was in a ski mask. Oh shit, this is country boy. Is what this guy, you can hear his passion, right? You can hear his emotion. Number one, like, yeah, I'm pretty much sure this guy's going to keep shooting at us. I don't know. I mean, whatever. Oh shit, says Officer Country Boy 2. Like, this guy shot at us once already. He's got a ski mask on. Like, this is like, it's like a nightmare at this point. This guy is all emotion, right? And it's not wrong. This guy is in his heart. He's not in his mind. He's in his heart. He's like, and he was crawling across the front seat of the vehicle passenger side. I remember I kept yelling at him, stop moving, stop fucking moving. What is the expletive? Why do we have to do this? Stop moving. He kept looking down as he was crawling across. And I was like, why is he looking down? Like, what is he going to reach up with? This guy is freaking. Okay? Chris, dissecting a police officer because they're trying to get into the head of someone who's supposed to be a professional. Right, yeah. Just give me a minute. Yeah. How did they get the empty the guns in the back? Yeah, okay, right. Okay, yeah. Just give me a minute. Hold on. So this guy, Officer 2, like that. Then Walker climbed out. I saw his eyes, and this is Officer 2, country boy. I saw his eyes, and he turned, he ran, and I was like, shit, is all I could think. I said, no, don't. Like, just stop. Officer 2 continued to explain during the interview. Can you hear this? Can you hear this? He's not listening to any verbal commands. This is Officer 1. The car is actually still slow rolling because he never put it into park. So he hops out of the passenger side. Now I see that he's wearing a ski mask now. Can you hear it? Officer 2. He's like, no, don't. Just stop. Officer 1 is like, the car's rolling. He never put it into park. Like, this guy is in his head, right? Like, this guy is thinking, you know? Now I see he's wearing a ski mask now. Like, okay. Officer 5 said he didn't see anything in Walker's hand as Walker started to run north through the parking lot. After the taser failed, how many times did the acting police shoot? Officers said the lighting in the area was poor. It was wide open with no apparent place to find cover. Most said they saw Walker turn toward them on 2 separate occasions. Officer 4 and 7 both fired tasers at Walker's back, but neither hit their mark. Then officers fired 18 shots, while the other officers, 3 officers fired 18 shots. That's 6 each, right? No. Yes. While the other officers fired between 3 and 16 each. Okay. So all 8 were asked what prompted to shoot. They said that Walker reached for the waistband in his pants. Yeah, so let's see. Ashley says the military sometimes tend to hurt people with excessive force. We know this, right? I was just talking to a guy on Facebook who says he doesn't carry a gun because he got PTSD in the military. So, I mean, does the military actually make this harder for them? Because are they snapping back into the guy with the IED explosive guy, for example? You know, what's he like right now? I agree with them being military and PTSD, but it's the case they shouldn't be out in the field. Yeah, right. But are we monitoring for that? And how do we know until it happens, right? Most of being a police officer is standing around watching construction sites, I think, isn't it? Officer 3 said, most said that Walker reached for the waistband of his pants, turned towards him, and raised a hand or all 3. I saw him I saw the picture of it, and I saw him raise his hand. Those actions said made the officers fear for their lives. I could not see his hands, Officer 3 told investigators. I just knew that, his exact movements. And no normal person makes those movements unless they're going to present themselves like they're shooting a firearm. I can believe that. Some said they believed the first shot they heard from Walker was aimed at them. See, listen to that. Can I read that again? Some said they believed the first shot they heard came from Walker and was aimed at them. However, they later learned that wasn't the case because Walker had left the gun in the car. And this, Officer 5, this sentence right here. I was immediately fearful for my life and for the safety and well-being of my partners because I believed that he had fired a shot because I heard an extremely early gunshot. This really hit me. You don't know where a shot comes from. And this officer, Officer 5, I can't keep track of who these are anymore, but I heard an extremely early gunshot. That to me is important. Some officers said they stopped shooting when they heard a ceasefire command. Others said they fired until Walker was no longer a threat. Even as he lay on the ground a few feet in front of them, they said he believed he may have a gun. They thought he may have had a gun. Officer 6 was among those asked the volume of shots fired the morning amount many in the community said were excessive. I mean, we're trained to shoot until the threat is gone. And that's exactly what I did, she replied. Okay? And that's the end. Now, I loved this article because I want to be conflicted. Okay? I want that. Keith says, I think police need to be disbanded. I think Congress should step in and these people should be trained like the FBI. Maybe. Apparently, Akron courts didn't even consider that a possible factor. The ruling was that he was reasonable in force, and that's complete bullshit. He didn't even fire, and they shot him, and his gun was in the car. It's fucking horrible. Agreed. Even after the ceasefire. Yeah. That sucks, right? You're not listening to command. How fast? You heard it and you didn't stop shooting. I feel like that's something that's a problem. For me, in this article, there's two things: an extremely early gunshot, and then they didn't listen to the ceasefire. They just kept firing and firing and firing. We know that some officers shot only 3 bullets, right? I think. 3 officers shot 18 bullets. That's 6 each. That's not the full clip. While others fired between 3 and 16. 16 is pretty close to a full clip, right? We don't know the numbers. And I'm not here to, I just want to understand. Like, and I'm desperately hoping that other people want to understand. Who shot 6 bullets and stopped? Who shot 3 bullets and stopped? And who shot their whole clip? I think they should all be removed from the force. I think this is not a healthy environment for them or us. I really do. Not out of malice. Just go do something else in your life. This is bad. This is bad. I really believe that. I'm not an angry point of view. So let's see. Okay, let's get back here. Oh, wow. Okay, Ashley says, so how with all the evidence did the jury agree to do nothing, to not doing anything? Was this perhaps withheld in court? Probably not. The Beacon Journal did a great article highlighting grand juries. Like well over 90% never get convicted of anything. Okay. Stephanie says, was a gunshot residue wipe test performed on Jayland? I don't know. That would have been a wonderful question to ask. Stephanie says they said he shot at them off the freeway, but it was one bullet. And they said they found a second casing. That seems confusing to me too. Jimmy says, exactly. They need to be tested when hired. I mean, I've heard some Desert Storm stories in which those guys were going house to house, in some case kicking in doors, not knowing they were 9, 10-year-old kids, or sometimes kids would have. So tell me that kind of crap wouldn't fuck with you. Right. Again, this doesn't have to come from a place of hatred. It just has to come from a place of understanding. And that's like, for me, that's what I'm into, like with the homeless population, with the sex offender population, the sex worker, drug addicts, drug dealers. I'm just curious. Like, wow. So tell me more about why you lace your meth with fentanyl. Like, I really want to know. Not that I'm angry. Just, why do you do it? Well, it's an increased revenue stream. Duh. You get them hooked on fentanyl, then you can sell them fentanyl, and then some people love doing that. What is that called? Like when you do meth and fentanyl? It's, it's a thing. Buy both. Okay. Keith says they handcuffed him after he was shot. Yes. And I would say, and then Stephanie says they need to go. I just believe that. I really believe for us, for a city, they should be named. We should interview them so we can get their humanity. And then they need to go. They just need to go. This is too painful. Okay? Can you imagine what it's like being their family, being their friends, being a black guy at that age that has a broken taillight because he can't afford to fix it? Hey man, I got to get to work. I don't have money to fix a broken taillight. I don't know how to fix a broken taillight. I don't have the money to fix a broken taillight. I just got to go to work. He was a Grubhub driver or something, right? Maybe that's why he came back. I don't know why he didn't come back. Maybe he was driving to drop off food and he was coming back home. Okay? But isn't that interesting, right? Like the police officer, the country boy, like that doesn't make any sense to me. Well, maybe you've never ordered Grubhub or whatever he does. I don't know what he does. Like, if you're a delivery driver, of course you're going back and forth. You're going all over. But, you know, the guy, I mean, he got pulled over the night before in New Franklin. So that pops up. You're like, I just want to know what's going on. Like, and isn't that what a police officer is supposed to do? Hey, what's going on? What's going on? But then isn't a black young man being like, holy shit, here come the popo. That's what they're supposed to do. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to do in this situation, given the circumstances, and it causes chaos. Okay? Ashley says, and a casing was found, but not at that point when they shot him, right? Stephanie says, yes, I'm aware of that, but shouldn't a test have been done on the gun? Yes, I think so. They need to go, yes. They handcuffed him. Yeah, and I wanted to say something that I heard the chief say that they're maybe going to consider not doing that anymore, which would be good. It's a little, sorry, you got great comments here, and I'm missing them. Keith says, if they do not remove these police officers, they have a mark on their back. Their families have a mark on their back. All police. I believe this, what Keith is saying. This, by not naming them and keeping them on the force, it makes it more dangerous for all police officers. Because the public, I think it's Serve the people are putting names out there, okay? They're putting them out all the time. And I don't repost it because I don't know. I don't want to post somebody's name that has not been proven. But the names are out there, and I guarantee there's angry people sniffing around looking for these people. And what if they get the wrong person? It's bad. It's bad. But all the innocent people that stand, yes, this is bad for everyone, Keith. Yes, this is a bad strategic move. I really believe it. It should be a part of the forensic process. When it comes to cops and cases, they do the bare minimum. Probably true. Dang it. Keith says, do we need these types of people in our police department? Do they want to be pulled over by these types of people? It's just too crazy. I'm scared to death. Yeah, we're all scared. Look, I have a police officer coming to my homeless house on Friday. I'm scared. I'm nervous about it. And he's just going to come and talk to us because they play their radio too loud. Okay? There's a grumpy old man at the subsidized housing where he gets free housing that he doesn't like our homeless people. He doesn't probably like black people. I don't know that for a fact, but I know the racism is extensive in that side of the in that community. But yeah, I'm scared too. All the tension is high. The only reason he had a gun in the first place was because he was at the firing range. Okay, I did not know that. Ashley, as you have, and was he allowed to carry it? I don't know that either. If he didn't have any warrants, I would imagine he's allowed to carry a gun. All you have to do is get the names is by requesting information in the police department. It's public record, but you have to request and you get every record that the cops have. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know. They're hiding. So at any rate, this was what I woke up to. Ashley says, yes, he was. Well, he was allowed to carry a gun. It sounds like he was. Yeah. But will they in this particular circumstances? Asked Stephanie. No. Didn't have a record and drove for Uber. There it is. Yeah. There you go. No record. Drove with Uber, wanted a gun legally. Now, why did he shoot his gun in the air? I'm pretty sure that happened. What the hell was he thinking? This can happen to any one of our citizens, white or black. Yeah, this is scary. This is scary. This is scary. So that's the first thing I read this morning, and I'm like, okay, that's healthy for me. I'm learning the humanity side of the police officers. I appreciate that. And then I come over to Twitter and I see this. Look at that. Look at these. Okay, this guy so he sprays that guy, and then look at this guy. Look at this guy. He's like in this weird, like, kind of hunched position. Let's see if I can get another picture of him. See? Okay, so like this guy. He's hunched down behind Mace guy. There's yelling. Comrade Ohio says, fuck APD, y'all started a riot. Justice for Jayland, gonna be a long night. And Keith says, and look at our officers, they're dressed up like military. You know, they're all in black. You know what you expect. You look at the chaos that's going on, the corrupt city everywhere. What do people expect from? Yes. This is it. These guys are angry. And there are some black people. Some other video, I see some black people, but not here. Look at all these white cops dressed up. And this guy looks really overweight. I'm not like, there's nothing wrong with being overweight. I'm just saying, like, overweight sometimes is a sign of being heavily overweight is a sign of mental illness. I'm just going to say it. I believe that. You're eating because of something psychologically wrong. I do it. And this guy looks really overweight. He's not healthy. There's something wrong with this guy. Okay. And maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I'm profiling. Okay. But these guys are angry. Look at that guy. Why was that necessary? Why? Now, I don't know. Why. Here's another video. Okay, this right here. This is Councilman Russ Neal. This man has been censored as is he the only black man on council? I think that's true. Only black man. There are other black people, but they're all women, I believe. He was accused of intimidating 6 anonymous women during COVID when they were all working on Zoom. They are scared of him, and he has been censored because some anonymous 6 women said they're scared of him. He was the only person on city council to vote against the menacing order, which says if a city worker feels scared, you are automatically sent to jail for 3 days. They did that after Reverend Ray Green spoke at city council, and I misheard them. And look at this truck. Look at this military truck. I mean, what are they here for? Like, so, okay. Here's my idea if I was in charge of the police. I'd be like, look, man, these streets are your streets. You can march anywhere you want. If you want us to block streets for you, we will. If you don't want us to block streets for you, we won't. You just do what you need to do. Okay? You march, you yell, you can do it all night long. You can go and you go. And I'll tell you why. It's going to wear them down. Be like, hey, man, I need you out in the streets marching and yelling, marching and yelling. You tell, if you want us to, we'll block every street for you. We'll do it. Now, here's the deal. You break a window, you hurt somebody, and we get a call about it, we're going to come in and we're going to investigate that. We're not going to corral you and spray you, but we're going to come in and figure out what happened. Okay? You cannot break windows. You cannot physically hurt people. You cannot loot. You do those things, we're coming in. Tactically and surgically. Not big fat asshole cops with bear spray. Jesus Christ. That's what I think I would do. Now, I'm not a cop. I'm just a marketer. I'm a public relations guy. My idea would be like, we're going to let these guys, like Occupy Wall Street. They just let them camp in that park for weeks and weeks. It's super smart. Just let them camp there. Just let them camp. And eventually you go home. When you spray them like this, and then you have a picture of the only black man on city council watching in his neighborhood, innocent people that I don't know what they did to deserve that bear spray. I forget about the article I just read because now I'm in anger mode. And I'm sorry, but these guys did it. These guys playing military man, getting to bring out all their toys. It looks like maybe he was sprayed a little bit. Russ Neal witness, councilman, this happened in his ward. Yeah. He's rubbing his eyes. Yep, I think he probably got some of that in him. Here's another picture of the spray. Here's another of this.
We trained a whole year for this. This is how Akron responds to protests.
Yep. And watch this guy. This guy's angry.
There's about 100 officers out here.
He said, listen to him. I'm not going to tell you again. 100
officers out here.
I'm not going to tell you again. That guy is in a bad spot because he wants to be a police officer for whatever reason. And he's playing that role. I don't know this guy. I don't know anything about him. I know that none of these people have name badges. They've taken off all their names. Okay. And this guy is playing into the tough cop role. Okay. We remember those, 5 black cops that brutalized people in wherever it was, Memphis? I can't even, turning out for the white cop. It's an NWA song, right? The black cop turning out for the white cop. The only guy to talk, right? Look, these guys just standing there ignoring, and this guy, he gets close to him.
This is how Akron responds to protests.
He gets to this guy. His tongue is out. He's mad. This guy is mad. And then he's the only one to talk.
There's about 100 officers out here.
I'm not going to tell you again. The only guy to talk. This is a nightmare. They are creating the space for the riot that's coming. They want it. They want it. They want this war. They love it. They love it. Hi, Jade. You're not supposed to run. Yeah, he did not get pulled over. He ran from the police the night before. Yeah. Let's see. They have to. I was a leader in some protests in the group, and they aimed to get 8 can't wait in Akron. We had every name and every officer that had ever been accused of use of force. Okay. He did not get pulled over. He ran from the police the night before. That's true. He did run. Right. But you're not supposed to run. Right. I don't disagree with that. Right. Most black men think they're going to die because of these officers. And we have to acknowledge that, can't we? As a young black man, you're like, the guy that's going to kill me is either the dope boy or this cop guy. Everywhere I turn is an existential threat. Chris says, so are you saying that all police officers should be relieved of duties if involved in a shooting? I'm not saying that. Letter to turn into police for records. It will give you info. Okay. Oh, okay. So this is how you do it. Very good. They love the drama, but then again, that's most people. Very good point, Jade. I think it's very human. I mean, I'm that way. Don't you ever play? I mean, isn't that why you like watch zombie movies? You're like, what would I do if I was in the zombie apocalypse? You play those things out in your head. You know? Don't you? Don't you do that? Apparently there was a broken window at Wally Waffle. There's a rock. This was, I don't know when, April 20th, 4:29 a.m. Okay. So Wally Waffle got a window broken. There's a hat. I've had a broken window in my building. It sucks. So, you know, and that hurt the sign there. Like it went right through the sign. Why did they do that? And then they went to Jamaican Kitchen, which I don't know if it's a black-owned business. But I see a lot of black people working in there. Okay. Okay. Then, you know, they're like, I don't know. Windows were broken at 3 businesses, Highland Square, late Wednesday. Showing broken windows at Wally Waffle, Jamaican Kitchen, and Chipotle. Okay, they all got it. Video clearly depicts a rock had been thrown in Wally Waffle and Chipotle. News 5 reported that Evans Building on Exchange Street in downtown also had one window damaged overnight, noting that it was one of the few downtown buildings that wasn't boarded up. Reached out to Akron Police for more information. It's not immediately known if the damage was connected to the protest, but of course it was. They declared the march was okay. So look, it's not immediately known that was dispersed around 8:10 p.m. by Akron Police after they declared the march was an unlawful assembly. Okay? Now, why did these windows get broken? Yes, they're part of the Jayland Walker thing. It'd be silly to think they're not. Do the police have a role in this by doing the other stuff that instigated them? Okay? Let me tell you, I, as of yesterday, was just tired. I'm like, it's hopeless. This is ridiculous. There's nothing's ever going to change. Forget it. And the protests were really mild. I went to one. I got yelled at for taking pictures. I'm like, fuck this shit. Who gives a crap? I'm just going home. I'm not doing anything. And then I come and I watch this, and I'm sorry, but it bothers me that this overweight cop sprays these guys. It's vindictive. Why did they decide to make this an unlawful assembly? I don't have all the facts, but nobody said there were any broken windows on this road. Nobody talks about any broken windows up to this point. Did you guys see this guy? Look at this guy. This was 13 hours ago. Okay, here's a guy. This is on Copley Road. Okay, here they are. They've blocked. This is a very dangerous area, by the way. The pantry place. A lot of people have been shot here. It's a great place to, I think, have a protest. This guy brings out his drum. He brings out a speaker. He's creating a party atmosphere. Okay. Does it matter that this is in a black area that is heavily patrolled and often found of crime area of Akron? Does that matter? I mean, isn't this about the healthiest thing you could possibly do? This guy comes out, puts on a concert, basically. Now, again, I wasn't there. I'm sorry I wasn't there. I'm really sad that I was not there. I don't know why I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I missed it. I suck. What is 13 hours? So 10 hours ago would have been 9 p.m. We're at what? 6 p.m., right? It's still light out. Comrade Ohio says, shut it down. It's early. Come outside. Akron, Jayland Walker should still be here. We need everybody to come to Copley Road. On Copley Road. Okay. They're in the intersection. They have blocked traffic. All these guys do is yell. They're like, fuck 12. You know, I think 12 is technically the narcotics division. I mean, that's it. They go around, they yell, they march, and you can't let them do that? And then they come in and they do this on Copley Road, an over-policed area by a bunch of white asshole cops? This guy looks like an asshole. Look at these guys. It's like they're fucking in Beirut or something. I watch it and I get angry. I was not angry. I read the Beacon Journal article and I was conflicted and living in a space of confusion and multiple perspectives. Now I'm in one space. I hate these fuckers. Fuck you is what I'm saying. What did they do wrong? Why does Russ Neal have to be rubbing tear gas out of his eyes in his ward? I'm mad. Now, you know what I'm doing? I'm looking for more stuff to be mad. Okay? How about this? Let's listen to this Emo Kai article or video. Listen to this. This was a couple days earlier. Emo Kai Okolo, the black man who was not allowed to be on the police oversight board. He is a graduate of Akron University Law. He is in a major law firm in Cleveland. You are radicalizing this guy. When you push him out, like they do to me, you become more like Darth Vader. I'm not saying this guy is evil or anything like that. I'm talking about myself. The Darth Vader in me, okay? I get radicalized and angry because they won't even talk to me about homelessness. They throw him out, and now look what you've done.
I'm so sick and tired of it. I'm losing it.
I'm losing it.
It's ridiculous. Time again and time again, this will continue to happen. And what they tell us is that, hey, maybe you can escape this, right? In this game called capitalism, maybe you can get a little bit of money. Maybe
that's what they told him. Maybe you can escape this, Emo Kai. It's probably what his mom told him.
You can be all right, but I'm telling you from experience, you won't.
You won't escape it. A lawyer at a high-end law firm. You won't escape it. He's speaking from experience. I did it. I did everything right, and they still fucked me.
Because this one's deep. Like they said, it's a spiritual thing. Sure, I've done it. I've gotten a law degree. I work at one of the biggest law firms in this world, and I make the money, but I feel empty inside.
I feel empty inside because they don't want to hear him. They don't want to hear him. They are turning him into an angry black man. They're doing it. The system does it. They're afraid of angry black men, and they're creating them. My wife has always said they should have put me on a panel in some sort of, like she's like, if I had been Dan Horrigan, I would have gone to you and said, hey, Sage, I value your input about homelessness. I'd like to create an advisory board. I'd like you to be on it, and I'd like to get reports about homelessness every quarter. Bam! I'm included in the system. But no, he writes an op-ed about how I'm a piece of shit, and now I'm angry. And now he has radicalized me a little bit more. They're creating this.
Anger inside. It's anxiety. It's depression because I know I can be doing more for my people.
I could be doing more for my people, but the system won't let him.
Instead of sitting in office. And we gotta.
Now he's thinking about, God damn, why am I just sitting making money when I am a leader?
Realize sometimes you gotta do that what's called class suicide. Come on.
Class suicide. Jesus Christ, can you hear this? They did this. They did this to him.
We gotta say F the money. F the family.
Can you believe this? They have radicalized what could be an incredibly powerful leader.
F the notoriety. I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and we're gonna do it no matter what the consequences are.
God bless Emo Kai Okolo.
I'm gonna leave that job and say F it. And say I'm going in the streets. I'm going to organize with people who want to organize with me.
I want to organize with you.
People who want to fight for the freedom and liberation in this country.
Yes, I want to fight for freedom and liberation.
Because we deserve it.
Yes, sir.
We built this country.
Yes, sir.
And I'll be damned if you don't get what we deserve.
Yes, sir.
And it's time.
Yes, sir.
And so what are we going to do about it?
I don't know.
Young folks, meet me outside.
I'm going to go follow you, Emo Kai Okolo, because goddamn, I love you.
We're tired of it. And we going to organize. We going to get the FBI to come in here.
Come on.
We're going to make sure we have people who are going to review and do what needs to be done. We're going to start our own people's assembly. We're going to do our own investigations.
Yes.
We're going to house our own people.
Yes.
We're going to feed our own people.
Yes.
And we're going to organize.
Yes. 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 It's time.
So let's go, man. Let's go outside.
Let's do it. They made him. And maybe it's good. Maybe radicalizing Emo Kai Okolo so he doesn't just go make the money in that fancy law firm is better for us. Then watch this. Let's see. I need to find Reverend Ray Green. Let's see. Is this the one? Listen to this.
And every last one of you.
Okay, this guy is a reverend, and listen to his energy. This is simmering.
No justice!
No peace. Yes, sir.
Period. There wouldn't be no justice in Akron, no peace in Akron, Ohio. There would be no peace in Summit County.
Yes, sir.
There would be no peace in the state of Ohio.
Yes, sir.
There would be no peace in America.
Yes, sir.
Until black men are able to walk down the street without being gunned down.
Yes, sir.
Until black men are able to wake up and walk outside without the fear of being murdered by state-sanctioned violence.
Yes, sir.
We will not rest.
Yes, sir.
I am not here to condone violence, but I am saying that you have a right to be righteously indignant.
Yes, sir.
From these results today.
I mean, are we going to see another rising of the Black Panther type of movement? I mean, could we get another, what is that, Hampton? Sorry.
Anger is an emotion that is felt when a wrong is done to you. And this wrong is done to us too many times. To the city of Akron. Board up everything that you want to do. But we are coming.
Board up everything you want to do, but we are coming.
To my friends, to my brothers, to black men, we need you. to the gang members in the
Yes.
city of Akron. We need you.
I want to work with the gang members too. They're taking him out of context. They're going to be like, he's calling for war.
There is one clear and present enemy in this city, in this county, in this state, and in this country,
Who?
and their name is Jim and Jane Crow,
Jim and
and we
Jane
will
Crow.
not rest until we
Okay.
put them to bed. I'm not here to condone violence, but I am here to say that we will take back our community by any means necessary. It is up to us.
Yes.
We can no longer wait on an administration.
No.
We can no longer wait on the police department
No.
that is trained to shoot a person 100 times.
Yes.
Until they no
That was
longer
what they were
have
trained to
life
do. That's what they said in the article.
in their body. We will not rest. I am giving you an invitation, if you didn't have one, to join in on this fight.
Yes, sir.
We will continue to register to vote. We will continue to run candidates. We will continue to take over the administration in an electoral manner. But Akron, Summit County, Bath, Greene,
Yep.
Hudson,
Yep.
we are coming.
Come on. That's no fucking joke. And that's how it is. So he knows. That's where you run it. That's where you run it. Let's listen to Fred Hampton. Black Panther activist.
Talk about Fred Hampton. He was assassinated in 1969 on this date, December 5th of 1969. He was only 21 years old, which is December 4th, excuse me. That was yesterday. 1969. He was only 21 years old and already an incredibly important leader.
He
of the
was
Black
assassinated. They came in and shot him in the head.
Panthers, and nationally, he was which is just sort of extraordinary. In this clip, and it's very interesting to kind of go back and look at people from, some people in the 60s did a very sophisticated political analysis. And in this clip, which you're going to play, and you'll hear Bhaskar, he's talking about how class politics intersects with race to sort of divide.
And this is kind of the reason. There's a reason. This is kind of where I'm bringing my perspective on it.
The working class. And
So aligning racism with classism, because that's my homeless thing.
This very smart fusion of racial analysis and class analysis. Let's take a listen.
What makes them mad about it is that they have black people and white poor people and red poor people and Puerto Rican poor people.
See, this is brilliant. This is the, what was that, the Rainbow Coalition that he invented.
Latin American Puerto Rican people, poor people of all descents, they had them caught up in movements based on racism when the Black Panther Party stood up and said that we don't care what anybody says. We don't think you fight fire with fire best, we think you fight fire with water best. We're going to fight racism, not with racism, but we're going to fight with solidarity.
We're going to fight fire with water. We're going to fight fire with solidarity.
We said we're not going to fight capitalism with black capitalism, but we're going to fight it with socialism. We stood up and said we're not going to fight reactionary pigs and reactionary state's attorneys like this.
See, listen to that. We're not going to fight reactionary pigs and reactionary state's attorneys.
And reactionary state's attorneys like Hanrahan with any other reactions on our part. We're going to fight their reactions with all of us people to get together and have an international proletarian revolution. Right on.
This guy gives me chills every time I hear him. He is a genius, a genius. They had to kill him. He was too good.
And that's saying all power to the people. That's saying that no matter what color you are, there's only two classes. And that's saying there's a class over here and there's a class over there. And the reason that this class over here has never did anything to get this class off its back because this is lower, this is upper. This is the oppressed, this is the oppressor.
The lower and the upper.
This is the exploited, this is the exploiter. And these people in this class have divided themselves. They say, I'm black and I hate white people. I'm white and I hate black people.
This is it. This is it. Please listen to this. I believe this in my heart of hearts.
I'm Latin American and I hate hillbillies. I'm hillbilly and I hate Indians. So we fight amongst each other. And you've heard the testimony of pigs here. You got pigs of all colors. You know that. You got pigs that are white. You got pigs that are black. You even got pigs that are black and white.
Okay, Bhaskar, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, you know.
All right, I don't need to hear, but I don't know who Bhaskar is. I believe it's the corporations. So Jim Crow and Jane Crow for sure. I mean, these are all things, but I personally believe that the corporations are keeping us all as poor as possible. How many people are one? Look at this. 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 1 out of 3 Americans are one paycheck away from being homeless. Okay. It's like 60%. And if you ask the corporations what's wrong with that, I think they would say the only problem with that is it's not 3 out of 3. The goal of the corporations is to take every possible penny from you without breaking you. Do you understand? That is the goal of every corporation. Profit as much as humanly possible. So I believe the corporations are in control of everything, that they are the politicians are just temporary interns that the corporations embed and do their bidding in exchange for electing these politicians who are just obsessed with power. As long as the politicians do the bidding of the corporations, the politicians get to stay in office. As soon as the politicians start listening to the people, they will be pushed out of office. And if we keep the people running hard enough and fast enough, they can't think about this. Do you know that we got lawns, like ornamental grass in the 50s or whatever, to keep us from reading Das Kapital? Literally, that was the use of having a lawn. That if we had to keep up on our lawn, and it was required in our neighborhoods to keep our lawns nice and manicured, we literally would not have time to read Das Kapital, Marxist thought. And that you have to be aware of that. You have to be aware that this is part of the whole process. All right, let's see. I'm missing some good comments here, no doubt. Hey, Jane. Okay, let's see. The system works exactly the way. Yeah. System. You will be pepper sprayed or have tear gas thrown at you. The system never works, says Jade. The system wasn't built for us, says Ashley. Skylark system works exactly the way it was designed to work. That's why it's got to go. The system never was here for us. That's right. That's factually true. America was built for rich white men. That's what the Constitution was built on. Skylark is 100% correct, and we have to acknowledge that. And then you have these constitutionalists, these people that want to go back to the pureness of the Constitution. And when you're doing that, you have to realize that that women were not meant to vote, people that didn't own land were not meant to vote, black people were not meant to vote. That's where we started this. Jade says, we cannot come together as a community. It's not safe. The system was never built for the people it's supposed to serve. Dale says, I tried to get a panel started with key people in Akron. You and I fell on deaf ears. It's unbelievable. But Sage, I was shocked for sure. Jay says, they took away one of our constitutional rights. It's not right. The Black Panthers never left. They're still around for sure. I saw them in March. Yeah, I mean, maybe we could revitalize that, or we could start something new. Jane says, it's really true. I'm finding myself becoming more radical every day. Yeah, because we're left out of the conversation, Jane. I have a statement coming out today in the paper that certain council people aren't going to like. I'm tired of being told to work with them when they don't want to work with me. Yeah, that's right. They're radicalizing us, Jane, because they won't acknowledge our existence. The upper class always wins. The lower class is always at the fall of the upper class's action. Yeah. So we, let's see, is there anything else I wanted to show you? So here, here I will show you this. The this again was put out today, I think 6 o'clock this morning. We now have a Akron Police Review Board, right? And it's fully operational. Kemp Boyd here, Executive Director of Love Akron, talks to Akron Mayor, 2023 State of the City. Akron voters resoundingly approved the creation of that police oversight board last year in the wake of the shooting of the death of Jayland Walker. After a special grand jury this week determined criminal charges aren't warranted for the 8 officers who fatally shot Walker, an Akron Police Department internal review now takes place. The Walker case will likely be among the first of the new oversight board. The board and the Office of Independent Police Auditor rely on the authority granted the charter to ensure the internal investigation is complete, thorough, and as transparent as possible. The board will also consider what additional steps it might take concerning this tragic matter, the 9 board said in a statement, okay? What steps? They can't do anything. They can put out reports. Per the city charter amendment, the panel will have the power to direct the police auditor. Okay, so they can tell the police auditor to review officers investigated for complaints. The board and auditor will also review each investigation and involve deadly force by Akron Police. The board will have their work cut out for them as the panel received a late start due to a potential board member, that's Emokai Okolo, that they've now radicalized. They wouldn't allow him on that board. You ended up starting about 3 weeks later than we were supposed to. I know that's not a great thing that maybe anybody else wants to hear, but that's just the truth. I also believe that while the board started late, I believe God gave us the board we were supposed to have. It's kind of a cop-out. Blame God for everything. The board is reviewing the charter amendment and drafted rules they received to make sure they align. We're looking very hard at the charter amendment to make sure that we keep the fidelity of it and make sure that there's an alignment with the charter amendment. This guy, very intellectual, trying to live up to the importance of this, the solemn nature of this board. We were given to agree some changes. There's misalignment. His Monday conference, the police chief offered no timeline for the internal review. Boyd said the board see it the first time April 1st. When they were to begin work, they won't have a tentative timeline until they meet and consider the issue in a week. The irony of the Walker case being one of the first they review isn't lost on Boyle. I don't know why it's ironic. Their statement, the board, because maybe he started it. Why is my phone ringing? I don't want that. Decline. This was not created overnight, so we have to stop thinking it's going to be fixed overnight because it's not. So he's just preparing you for nothingness. Nothing will happen. How do you build it? First of all, you got to build it by acknowledging we don't have it. Okay, so yeah, we've got nothing. And then you have to identify why we don't have it. Do we have to identify see, this guy just sounds like a bureaucrat. We have to be transparent enough to be really honest with ourselves that nothing's going to happen. That's what he's saying, isn't it? What he's saying? Nothing's going to happen. Let's be honest about that. Objectively, that helps to bridge the gap. Said objectively, that helps to bridge the gap that is key for the board to work. Bridge the gap. What I can tell you is we're going to do our due diligence. Okay, we feel the responsibility of this moment. It's just not this moment, but we think the moments will come after this. We want to do it right by it. Okay, good. So yeah, it sounds really. So you have Emokai Okolo, who is mobilizing people. You have Reverend Ray Green, who is angry as fuck. He is angry. And then you got this guy, Boyd. Well, you have to realize we didn't have anything. We need to start there. So considering we didn't have anything, we're going to really need to think about that and, do due diligence. Who are you going to follow? Who are you going to follow? This Boyd guy? Jenny says, where's this video? I want to see the encounter murder yeah. Does anyone know where I can find this video? I don't know which video. Probably not. I'm sure I can't. No. So here we are. I literally wrote an article about loving our police officers. I wrote that yesterday. We need to love and understand our police officers. And then I come over and I watch this video of them in their tactical gear shutting down an illegal right to assembly. There's a guy on a drum. He was fucking drumming over on Copley Road and they come in and bear spray you, what do you expect is going to happen? Now I'm angry. And you made everybody angry. And I honest to God believe in my heart of hearts that's what they want. They want us to be angry because they want to use their toys. We're being run by a gang of white outsiders that are angry at people they don't even know. They pepper sprayed at Copley Road, a black community that they over-police. They hate those people. I'm telling you, they hate them. How many times do I have to watch this cop, this fat cop, do this? He just sprays that guy. Why? Why did he do that? Why was that necessary? And now look at these guys. It's like they're in Afghanistan. I mean, maybe they were in Afghanistan. Are they getting flashbacks? They're like, now I hate these people. I hate these people. They're the danger. They're the threat. I'm here to save things. Why? Look at that guy. Look at that guy. He's a sheriff. This is Summit County now, right? How does this work? Are all these people Summit County? These are sheriff people. This is not Akron police. This is sheriff. Is that a different thing? Why? And I mean, it's not organized. Obviously, there's people on the sidewalks behind them. Look, there's these guys taking these shots. Like, are they, I mean, oh God, I hate him so much. I hate this guy so much. And this is from a guy who was trying to find the humanity in these people. What a fucking mess. What a fucking mess. So do whatever you want. Hudson, Revere, Bath. That was the call, wasn't it? They know how to scare the shit out of you. Bring black people into white rich neighborhoods. They know. What do you think? They don't know? Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Because us that needs to be on the front line.
This guy is highly educated lawyer. This guy marched down your street. You're fucking scared.
Us that's on the front getting killed.
And you know what? He's probably on a suicide mission himself. I'm not saying that he is. I'm just saying if he gets shot, he's a martyr. It gets worse. I mean, I don't know. Is he suicidal? I mean, that's how I feel about it. I'm like, look, if I die on this fight, it's worth it. That's literally how I feel. If I die doing this fight, it's worth it.
And I'm tired of it. I'm so sick and tired of it. I'm losing it.
I'm losing it.
Because this is ridiculous. Time again and time again, this will continue to happen.
And nothing changes. Kindergartners will be continually shot in our schools. Priests will continually rape kindergartners. Cops will continually murder black men. And nothing will change. That is the American message.
What they tell us is that, hey, maybe you can escape this, right? In this game called capitalism, maybe you can get a little bit of money and maybe you can be all right. But I'm telling you from experience, you won't. Because this runs deep. Like they say, it's a spiritual thing. Sure, I've done it. I've gotten a law degree. I work at one of the biggest law firms in this world and I make the money, but I feel empty inside.
Jesus. Just...
It's anger inside. It's anxiety. It's depression because I know I can be doing more.
Anxiety, it's depression. He's fucking saying it. He's like going on a suicide mission, maybe.
More for my people. Instead of sitting in an office. And we gotta realize that sometimes we gotta do that what's called class suicide.
He says it. He fucking says the word.
We gotta say F the money, F the fame, F the notoriety. I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and we're gonna do it no matter what the consequences are.
No matter what the consequences are. I feel the same way. You know, I've been called a race traitor because I side with black people. I've been called a nigger lover. I'm sorry to say it. A black guy asked me if I'm taking sides, and the white people don't like it. But what I'm here to tell you is, they're fucking you too, white people. Convincing you, making you think that it's the fetuses and the trans people that are your problems. No, it's the corporations. They're screwing us all. We all have to come together. They're playing all of us. They're keeping the black people angry at the cops. They're keeping the white people angry at the trans people and the black people. And they are gaming us. There is one enemy. I believe it's corporations. Destroy the corporations. That's what I think. I do love you. You are my inspiration. I'm going out on the street. And it's because of those sheriffs. They did it. I was honestly thinking I'd just stay home. Not anymore. They want me out there. They want this fight. I'll see you. I love you.